Well, hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Intuition Your First Sense. This is Vicky, and today's going to be a pretty short one, although I haven't timed it out, so we know I can be long-winded. I could get on a roll, but I want to talk to you about your daily practice, and not about whether you brush your teeth or not, but boy, I hope you do. No dragon breath here, please. But your daily practice of giving to self, your daily practice of connecting with spirit, with your soul, with your guides, with earth, with your elbow, whatever it is that you want to connect with. I feel like this is such an important part of grounding, of being here as a physical being. And we like our rituals, right? We like our practices and our habits. So I'm wondering, what is your daily practice? Do you have one? Are you someone who gets up and just runs with the day because the alarm clock was blaring at you? Or are you someone who wakes slowly, contemplatively, and is willing to greet the day with a little bit of gratitude? And the reason I'm asking this is I used to be one of those people who just jumps up and gets going with the day. And then through the passing of my husband years ago and the realization that, boy, that was not serving me, I have been haphazardly creating a daily practice. Now I wake with gratitude every day. And sometimes, honestly, peeps, I am thanking my pillow and I'm thanking my sheets, because that's about as deep as I can go first thing in the morning. I'm naturally a night owl. And sometimes I'm just not feeling it in the morning, and that's okay. But I want to encourage you to create that check-in, to really connect with yourself and to give that time and that blessing, and also, you know what, that permission to think about yourself for a moment. Because if you're a giver and you're someone who is constantly handing out the energy to other people, and maybe you're taking care of people right now, maybe you're running a company, maybe your process is and daily activities require you to be up doing chores really early in the morning, perhaps you're farming, there's a tendency to get up and just go. And that, I feel like, adds to the stress that's already in our system. And I feel like it takes us further and further away from ourselves. And I've admittedly been someone who had a difficult time maintaining practices, because I like to experience so many different things that I get excited about this or excited about that, and then don't continue with the process. One of the things that was so helpful to me was actually buying an espresso machine, because the coffee is so dang good. I just want to sit there for a moment and be grateful for it. And that helped begin this process of consideration that, okay, maybe there is something to this daily practice of morning connection. And I am not going to tell you how to do it. I'm just going to encourage you to consider some of the millions of options that are available to you. How you go to sleep is how you wake up. So if you go to sleep watching TV and distracted, you're going to wake up distracted. If you go to sleep worrying, you're going to wake up worrying. Because after we go to sleep, we leave our bodies and we soul travel and we grow and we expand and all that, and we travel and we meet other people, but we're coming back to our body kind of where we left it. And if you drifted off to sleep in a somewhat stressful space, then you're going to wake up in that place. And I want to kind of get ahead of that. So I figure if we go to morning and we talk about what's your morning routine, we can work our way to what is the evening routine. So morning could be upon waking, giving a little bit of gratitude and understanding for the fact that you woke up, that you are here, and not a grumbling, oh crap, I made it another day, but a true gratitude of, okay, I am sucking in oxygen. There must be something I am going to experience or learn today? And then go to, do you have the benefit of sheets? Do you have the benefit of a pillow? Is there a pet that's nearby? Are you waking up with a loved one? Are you able to get up and prepare coffee or have breakfast? And the gratitude can come in, and I love when it comes in all the smallest places, because I feel like that allows us to really appreciate life. And then, maybe you have a drink of water first thing in the morning and you're able to get that right from your tap. So follow yourself around in the morning if you're having a difficult time with the waking with the attitude of gratitude. And like I said, I am not normally a morning person. I'd love to be a morning person, but it's just not happening with this girl. However, since I changed my habit of lamenting the fact that it's morning to, wow, I wonder what today is going to be like, it is a lot easier to come into my day to connect with my purpose of being a human first, and then what could I do in the world. And when I'm feeding the rabbit first thing, it's consciously, it's connecting with him and giving him some love. He mostly just wants the pellets, but I'm giving him some love at the same time. And then moving through the day to the walk with the puppy, and then into my day with my clients, and basically bringing a presence of mind to whatever is going on, because it can be so easy to be pulled out and distracted by the stuff that we think are big deals when they most of the time aren't. So what? Your email box is full. You'll get to it. That laundry you left in the dryer, it's okay. You'll either spin it around again, or maybe you'll have to wash it again. But it's okay. How are you going to pay that bill? You will do it. You have always done it. You will do it. If you can bring your energy to the place of gratitude, and you can bring yourself to really seeing your world, the less distracted you'll be, the more you'll be able to define what it is that you want in your life. So this action of habit and consciousness can bring that about. Maybe you could take 2 deep breaths at first thing in the morning, and then 2 more when you're making your beverage, or 2 more deep ones when you're brushing your teeth. And as you go through your morning, setting up your day to be in an intended space of looking for the blessings, looking for the gifts, looking for the humor. This morning when we were walking, there was this chipmunk that went flying in front of us. He was moving, and he was carrying, I don't know, he must be putting an addition onto his house or something, because he was carrying a twig that was 3 times the size of him. But he was moving, and I started laughing about it, because here I am trying to be contemplative, taking a breath, noticing that it's going to rain most of the day, but that's okay. Inside recording podcasts and really appreciating the hills. There's so many hills where I moved, people. There are hills. As soon as I walk outside my door, there are hills. But you know what? The glutes are firing. So appreciating that. When you start to direct your GPS in the direction of what is humorous and what is bountiful, it really does start to create more of that in your life. So what are your connections? Are you someone who must work out every day for the energy to move along? Do you listen to music first thing in the morning? There's this fascinating energy pattern called residual energy. And sometimes when I would be consulting with someone in my medium days, and they would say, Vicki, I think the place is haunted. And I would look at it and I'd be like, no, that's residual energy, because that person did the same thing every day. They went to the kitchen at 7:30 at night, got a drink, came back. They might have gone for a snack, came back. Then they went and let the dog out, came back. Then they brushed their teeth, went to bed. We leave energy patterns of wherever we are. So if you think about it in that context, it can actually help you to create situations. It can help you to create success in your habits, because you've already laid down the trail. So this is probably why I go to the cheese drawer now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, digression.
Have you ever wondered where your soul is? How you can be in touch with it? How you can use it and communicate with it with your human senses as well as your intuition? I wondered this for a long time, and as I practiced and learned how to do it, I have now created a course that you can take that is self-guided, along with some live events with me that can help you to connect to your soul as well, and to use this amazing collaboration between your human self and your soul to empower your life, to create what you'd like to have, and most importantly, to be able to feel that you belong, that you are amazing, and then what would you like to do with that in the world? So head on over to the website, vickibaird.com, check it out and sign up, and let me know if you need any help.
Is there something that would feel good to you that's easy to do and attain in every day of your life? It must be easy to create the habit. It must be easy, and it must be duplicatable. Like, can you do it every day without making too much of an effort for it? So you're not going to say, I'm going to meditate for an hour every day. You're not going to. But if we could get 5 minutes of conscious breathing, that can be while you're driving. This does not have to be something initially that you carve out the time just to do. However, I'm going to encourage that you do that. Because if you don't know how to give yourself love, how are you going to love another? How are you going to spread that out in the world? And if you're giving it out everywhere, there's likely not enough left for you at the end of the day. And this is why I'm encouraging the morning, because you can run out of energy towards the end of the day. And it's just like sometimes it's better to put the workout in the morning, because then it's done. I happen to be an afternoon workout person. I prefer that time, but I readily agree with get it done, and it is done. So what is the practice for you? I would like you to write down 3 different practices that are possible for you. So contemplative with your drink in the morning, whatever that is, can be your protein shake, going for a walk, doing a meditation, listening to an inspirational podcast, or a mindful meditation, a recipe that you want to try, something that gives to you and you alone. And may have 3 things on that list, because what you're going to want is variety. You're also going to want something to pull from, because not every day do you want to wake up and read a passage from a book. Maybe your body says, I want to move. Or maybe there's a schedule that requires you move and you don't have time to connect in with that thing. And no, to those of you that say just get up half an hour earlier, that's not possible for some people. That just, their brains just do not wake up that early, because we do all have our own circadian rhythm. So what is your practice of giving to you? Will there be some stretching? Please tell me there's some stretching. Will there be some moving of your body? Have 3 things on that list that you can go to. And then you're going to write these down. They're not going to be abstract in your brain. You are going to put these in a calendar. You're going to put it wherever you pay attention to. If you're not someone that's calendar driven, well, I applaud you. And I am amazed, because without the calendar, Vicki doesn't quite know where to show up. But where is your connection? Are you going to put a sticky note on the mirror so when you're brushing your teeth, one of the things can be make eye contact for 10 seconds today? Go ahead, try it. It's not the easiest thing on the planet. It sounds easy. It's not easy. But maybe that's one of the things that you work up to. Maybe you have 2 seconds and you work up to 10 seconds. And then maybe you work up to the full 2 minutes that you're brushing your teeth. You are brushing your teeth for 2 minutes, right? Good job. So if you have these things already written down, they will be there for you so that there's not an excuse to avoid it or to say, I can't do that. And that's why I'd like them to be 10 minutes or less to begin. Because I don't want this to be one more chore on your list. I want this to be something that gives to you. We are looking to fill your battery pack up. And just like you charge your cell phone, I want you to charge yourself. So whatever that may be, you can have several different expressions of it. So if there's an example of self-care every day, that's fantastic, but there has to be something that you're doing that reiterates to you that you have value, that you matter, that you're worth taking this moment. I would love for you to get to an entire day, but we're going to start small because micro movements matter. And perhaps, if you want to journal, but you sit there and your head's just all over the place, well, there's hundreds of apps and journals that you can get at stores like Five Below that have journal prompts. You can go online and get free journal prompts. If it's something that you feel inclined to do, but you're having a difficult time doing, make that commitment and get it in there. And I know it's easy to put it off. I do it myself sometimes, but if we're not filling our gas tanks and we're not listening to ourselves and spending time with self, you are not going to develop your intuition any more than it already is. It's going to stagnate. It's going to be frustrating. So today's quest will be to get some more water in, give that brain some liquid encouragement, and I mean water, not the other kind of encouragement, and see it as a gift. Every drink, every mouthful you're taking, you are practicing self-care. And for those who are taking care of other people, this is imperative because you will do yourself in. The caregiver exhaustion is real. And that is as a parent, that's as a teacher, that's as a doctor, that's every place that is serving other people. If you don't have some kind of fill it up, honor yourself, you will not be able to give to others at some point. Your system will crash. And let's prevent that, okay? And unless you need to perform CPR, people will be fine if it takes 10 minutes. And if you have little ones in the house, you may have to take the time when they're sleeping, and you may have to schedule that a bit more, and maybe it's not as flexible, but you know what? They do grow up, and you want to have these patterns already in place, and you also want to teach them. And one of the things I'm most proud of is my daughter is really good at taking time for herself. And I taught that to her, but I really didn't walk it very well. And I actually learned by watching her, knowing that I wanted her to learn that. I wanted to break that pattern of women constantly serving everybody and not taking the time for themselves. So I taught it to her, but I'm a little late to the show and I'm practicing that now. So what is it that you will do? Message me on all the social medias at Coach Vicki Baird, info at Vicki Baird, Vicki at VickiBaird.com. You can get a hold of me most places. And as long as those platforms exist, I'll take the messages there. But otherwise, you can always email me, and I would love to know, because I think people are extremely creative, and you might find that weeding your garden is very you time, or that wandering in the woods, oh, I love that, is you time, or watching the sun rise or the sunset, whatever end of the day it works for you. If you're someone who can take the time after everybody's in bed and you're not just falling asleep exhausted, fan-freaking-tastic. There are no rules to this except to find those 3 things that you will give to yourself that will fill you up, that will remind you to take care of yourself, because you matter, your health matters, your mental health matters, your spiritual health matters. And if you want to continue experiencing the expansion of who you are, you will do this. And if you want to connect and clear chakras and be able to work with stones and talk to your guides and understand your own process in this lifetime, you better have some quiet time. You just better have it, or it won't be there. So, and you know what? It's just delicious. It's just delicious to like spending time with yourself. So let's set that as the intention. Okay? And this is going out at the beginning of December so that you can practice it, especially in this month, and learn and take this into the new year as something that you give yourself. And I'm so grateful that you're listening and that you're here and part of the process with me, because this is also one of my things. If the podcast were only for me, I don't know that I would have stuck with it this long, but because I have the feedback and people come to me and say they like listening, I sit down and I do it, and I'm grateful for that. So thank you for allowing me to have a process with myself that makes it necessary in order to show up for you guys. So see how all that works. Thank you, and I will see you in the next episode.
If this is something you feel would be beneficial to you, feel free to pop on over to the website, vickibaird.com, or at Coach Vicki Baird on all the social platforms.